Hey everybody, welcome to Late Horror Show. Little different kind of stream tonight, for sure. Going to get deep, and we're going to talk about dreams and nightmares. And updates. Definitely some updates, but I'm going to get pretty deep here. Welcome once again, and skipped the show for Night Gallery, but I will tell you guys about that in a second.
Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
Once again, hey everybody, welcome to Late Horror Show. I'm Dino as always, and wasn't going to do anything tonight, Night Gallery. I'm sorry I pushed it back 2 weeks, but I'm going to try to tell you guys what's been going on in my life and in my head and in my world, and what's going to be coming up in the future. And we're going to talk about what's been going on up here with dreams lately. And it's kind of pushed me into a direction that, again, I should have been in a long, long time ago, but I got sidetracked and it took me in a whole different direction. But anyways, and I'd like to hear about your guys' dreams and nightmares too. If there's something that stands out when it comes to dreams and nightmares in your life, put it in the chat. I'd love to have a back and forth with you guys too. But we'll be talking about some updates on everything going on. And again, right before I started this, because this was last second, but I'm like, you know what? I know what I need to say. Let me come out and say it. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. But let me say hello to everybody. Connie Clary, what is going on? MOR, Edward Stewart. Yeah, Edward, sorry, man, Night Gallery. I can't wait to start talking about it. And next Saturday I will. But there will be changes and stuff like that. So that's what I kind of want to talk about. Sweet Indigo, what's going on? Ahava, good to see you. Connie, pardon me. Connie Clary, Fluff Chick Productions. What's going on? Good to see you. Let me see. There's some other people in here. Joe Anderson, what is going on? Francis McCloskey, Tony Horror Writer. Who else is here? Donovan Belair is here. John McGee, Harry Scott. Hi, Boy Donuts to you, my friend. Definitely good to see everybody is here. Funky Seaweed 07 from the UK. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, let me start this way, you guys. First of all, I apologize you haven't had as many lives as I used to do. They're kind of limited to Saturday and Sundays at the moment, but that will be changing very quickly. I know I've said that many times, but we're going to get into a deeper side of what's going on with Dino and stuff like that. But tomorrow night, me and Dave, we will be interviewing an author, a professor. We will be talking Kolchak and old horror movies, old black and white horror movies, especially haunted house black and white horror movies. So with guest Kendall Phillips. So me and Dave Plouffe, that'll be tomorrow night. That'll be fun. That'll be fun for sure. Overnight tonight, CBS Radio Mystery Theater. I'm going back, fixing them up the best I can to the ones I never got to. Listen, there's 1,300 episodes, so there's a lot that we do. And I'm doing the shorts. Hopefully you guys are liking. They're short, quick, and boom. You know what I mean? But so that's it. Me and Dave, then we got Kolchak next Sunday. And I will do Night Gallery next Saturday for sure. Let's see where to go from here. Let's see. Sears James, what's going on? Hopefully I'll be allowed to stay. Don't worry, I'll be good. No, I haven't lost my senses. I've come to them. Those are words I wanted to hear, Sears James. I have always enjoyed you in the chat. I really have. So good to have you back, Sir James. Darren Garcia, what is up? What is up? Okay, so there's going to be a direction I'm going to start taking. You're still going to get Sunday nights. You're still going to get Saturday nights with us talking like I always have. You're going to get the old time radio streams overnight. You're going to get the shorts. But dreams and nightmares, I'm getting to it because it's what pushed me into this direction. And when I start talking about my dreams that I've been having on and off for some months now, I mean, listen, I've always dreamed, and I dream to where it's a reality. It's real. And I do believe I go somewhere other than here in my dreams. I'm not saying everybody does, but everybody has the ability to. A dream state is just another place that our energy can go to. I'll be getting into this in future shows. I really will be diving deep into it. Nightmares also. We have an energy within us. We have our soul, we have our energy. Our energy can take us into different dimensions, could have us lucid dreaming, if you know what that is, which we'll get into that down the road. But I've been dreaming very heavily and very realistic. I mean, it's like it's telling me, listen, you need to remember everything that's going on right now with these dreams, okay? And I'll tell you when this all began, too. It began around the age of 8 years old when something happened to me. And I will talk about that, too. Stop the chat. Be respectful. Is somebody saying something? I stop the chat. Be respectful. I hope somebody, now I'm getting choked up. Adam for Christ, what's going on? I'm just catching up, seeing what's going on. Vicky Alcorn, what's going on? Are you discussing lucid dreaming or dream walking? Oh, no. WTF. Hey, WTF, what's going on? All encompassing. There's dream walking, sleepwalking, whatever. There's lucid dreaming. There's just dreaming. There's deep dreaming. There's light dreaming. There's dreaming where you're in deep REM sleep. I think it's what is it? It's I forget what it's called. S3 dream or sleeping. Like there's an REM that kicks in and all that. Again, I'm not here to talk about the specifics. I'm here to talk to you about my story, and I'm going to start going down the road of I think what I've been meant to talk about, the paranormal side of things. We all know that I've got paranormal into the night here. Let's listen to you, bro. What's going on, bro? Oh yeah. No, I'm starting to. It's I got lost. I'd say for the past decade. Okay. I started something here on YouTube and even a little bit before with podcasts and stuff like that, where I started getting into the paranormal because with everything that happened in my childhood, I wanted to know what the heck's going on. And this may sound crazy to a lot of people. We don't believe in ghosts. We don't believe in the afterlife. We don't believe in near-death experiences. We don't believe in this or that, whatever it is that doesn't seem normal. But all you got to do is look at some of the images coming back from the Hubble Space Telescope. I'm not saying that tells you there's something paranormal out there, but I'm telling you there's more than meets the eye on everything. But I had a very, very tragic, I've said this before, very, very tragic childhood. Things that open up children's mind to the other side, to escape from this world. Okay. The day-to-day life and the things you suffer as you go through mental abuse, physical abuse, things that you shouldn't see. I won't get too deep into that because it's irrelevant. But all of that very tragic stuff that happened to me kind of led me down a road up until about 10 years ago where I said, well, no, let me go back, reverse, rewind, where all of that stuff happened when I was young. Okay. Again, which I won't get into details, but at the age of 8 years old, on top of all of that, I got hit by a car. I think I've mentioned that on the channel before, but I'm not sure if I've told you. If you guys are hearing this for the first time, I don't. Not often. I still see you are while I was under anesthesia. We're not here to judge. You're among friends, Dino. Oh no! Listen, yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's why I love all you guys. You guys are great. You guys accept. You guys understand, and you're not here to judge. So that there you go. But yeah, when I was 8 years old, got hit by a car. Okay. And this is all going somewhere. And it's going somewhere that should be pretty cool. But about 8 years old, I got hit by a car. And let me tell you, it was bad. It was bad. I was out, I think, 3 times during the next 12 hours. I woke up 3 times, once on the porch looking up to my aunt, in the ambulance, in the hospital. And it gets to me even talking about it. That's how tragic it was. I mean, it really was. Whoa, whoa. And then, but right there, when you talk about near-death experiences, it happened to me, and I don't talk about it much. Never really have. It opened something up. I never felt the same after that. Never, never. And that's where I never knew what was going on through the rest of my life. I never understood why I saw the things I did in dreams specifically. Um, I never understood why I pulled emotions, feelings from people. I sensed those feelings from people. It's stuff I hid my entire life. To the point that I literally, it's called it's being empathic. Uh, you can absorb or suck that energy from somebody that they're feeling. Lots of psychics and mediums feel that way too, the real ones. And here, let me see. I know I shouldn't stop in the middle of what I'm saying, but I do see that there's some stuff going on here. I'll stop the chat just so I can go back and see what you guys wrote down. Hello, Ruben, Broken Prophet. Good to see you guys. And but see, this is why I shouldn't stop in the middle, because I distract myself. But I started feeling things after that incident in my life, which was tragic in itself, man. Listen, even after all of that, I was in a home where I was on my own. I remember waking up dragging myself to the bathroom because nobody would carry me. But yet I was in and out of consciousness. I couldn't walk. But nevertheless, it tells you how bad off I had it. And after all of that happened, I didn't know what was going on. And I grew up for most of my life, and even through the 20s. Through my 20s, I started to understand a little bit of it because I got into vampires and, everything paranormal is when I started getting into that stuff. And I really started asking questions like, why is this happening? Why does it happen? There was even a point where I got into trying to do that telekinesis, the really far out stuff, you know what I mean? And I won't even get into that. Okay. I definitely don't want people to think I'm crazy or whacked out. So, but these are things that I've gone through my entire life, wondering why I feel this way. Why is, and then the dreams. Okay. From an early age, I was having deep, deep, like WTF said, dream walking, PTSD, anxiety, and other issues can come from any type of trauma. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah, and I've got them all, Darren Garcia, in life, so I've got them all. Anyways, the all of that became a thing when I was a kid. After the accident is when the dreams became real, and there were messages within those dreams, things I've never talked about before, even to this day. But let's fast forward to what's been going on the past. Okay, let's go back to 10 years ago. I started YouTube. I started this channel. I wanted to start a paranormal show. Okay, Paranormal Into the Night. Wanted to start a show like that. Hey, Duck Dodgers, what's going on? Um, and I did, and very quickly I got sidetracked by the whole YouTube thing and being having fun, just having fun. So my buddy came in. We talked about movies. I loved it. So one thing led to the other. You get into the community. You start to talk and have fun doing this. Then the paranormal show kind of got sidetracked a bit. That's why I've shown and aired some of the classic shows, which I didn't know what I was doing. Even to this day, do I think I make a great interviewer or whatever? A lot of people say, hey, you know what you do? I try to think of myself more as Art Bell, where I allow people to say whatever it is they want, and then you can judge, but listen to the story. Um, so that's kind of what I wanted to do, and I got sidetracked and everything else. But then let's fast forward to the past 10 months, year, the past year maybe. I've been ignoring a lot of dreams that I've been having. Okay. Um, this is all going towards when we get right down to it, and then I'll get into the dreams I've been having. I'm going to start up Paranormal Into the Night. I've been on a mission the past month, really, talking to people and hooking up with people in certain fields that I can get on the show and talk to, because I'm being pushed in that direction. Let me just say that I'm being pushed in that direction. I've been told. I've been told. I'm a toad. I've been told my Cleveland accent. I've been told to get focused, to concentrate on what you want to do, what you want to learn, get it out there to the people. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. And as soon as I felt that, which was about 3 or 4 days ago, I kind of woke up and I'm like, huh, okay, I think I know what I need to do. And it's just like such a weight lifted off of my shoulders. Like, dude, don't care about anything else, but get it out. Focus, put your energy into it. Again, all this other stuff is going to still continue. I mean, listen, it's my channel. I'm not going to let that go to the wayside. But the other stuff, the Paranormal Into the Night that I really want to do. Hello, Kathy. Big hugs to you. I'm really, and you guys are going to be very surprised on a lot of the people I talk to and guests and topics that I get into. But that should be starting up relatively soon. I'm going to start off with Sandra, who I think that I talked to a while back, but lots of new and interesting guests. Listen, there's a lot of people out there having some big experiences, some experiences that need to be told. And that's what I told myself 10 years ago. I said, there's so many people out there who aren't getting their story out, that need to get their story out, just for, I'm not going to say for proof, but to let people think, and go, because I know we're all sitting there think, listen, I've got people, we point up there, but we got people who have moved on. Okay. that we love dearly, and we want to know what happens when our loved ones move on, when we move on, right? So, and not just that, the alien presence that we have here, and uh, the spirits or ghosts and paranormal investigations people have, and how they get EVPN. A lot of these things people don't. But I am going to be hard hitting and getting to the root of what is going on, and that is exactly what my mission is. And I am focused, and I am going to do that. So start looking forward to the channel starting out once a week with a Paranormal Into the Night show. And I don't, if it picks up into a nightly thing down the road, who knows? I'm not even thinking about that at this point. Um, there was a point 8 years back where I was on UK radio as part of my Spreaker podcast, because I used to be on Spreaker back in the day. And it would get to countries in Europe and stuff like that. So I talked to a lot of people. It's a side that you guys haven't seen yet. Hey, Night Fright Talk Show, what's going on? But one that I want to dive back into. I know a lot of people on the channel are here for the old time radio show. So there's a lot of things that I think all of this helps. And I think I can do all of them at once. Okay. The old time radio helps a lot of people out at night with sleeping, with anxiety, pain, all kinds of things. Okay. To help you feel better. Nostalgia, just for that fact. There's the weekend stuff with me and Dave, me on Saturday, where it's sometimes trivia or whatever. That's us having fun. Then there's the other side that's going to start coming, the paranormal side, where I get deep into some very intriguing topics. And I certainly hope you guys like it and appreciate it and stay open-minded to it. So that's really what's going to happen on the channel. I will look at the chat for a little bit, and then I'm going to get into because I want to talk about this dream, are these dreams that I've been having for the longest time. This specific place that I've been dreaming has been happening about, oh boy, 2 years now. Same place, but I will talk about that in a second. I love to share this with you, and I have to share it because I don't know if the rest of you guys have dreams the way you do. But my whole point to all of this was I needed you guys to understand, first of all, what even Patreon members and stuff like that, we used to have movie nights on Fridays. I kind of kind of floated away from that because I was trying to pinpoint and figure out everything that was going on. So hopefully a lot of things start changing again and start, I've got give me some time to do. Listen, I'm a busy guy. I know that I'm doing something every single day, but that's what's going on. So I went to school with a guy named Paranormal. No, Darren Garcia, you got to be kidding me. So in a second, I'm going to tell you about the crazy, but real dream that I've been having for the longest time. And it's the dream that put me into focus. Okay. And it may sound strange and bewildering to many, but it is what it is. Let me see. Let me look at the chat just for a little. Ruben Franco says, been lucid dreaming since childhood. My youth was ugly, to put it lightly. I think you are right. It has been my escape. Yep. And that's my point, Ruben. I'm sorry that you've had a childhood like that and you had to escape. But that is what occurs. And especially as a child, that's the first place we go to. We go to uh, somewhere to block everything out that is making you feel the way you feel. You know what I mean? So uh, getting into your dreams is kind of the easiest way to do that, um, especially for an adult now. To learn certain ways of, and I'm going to have some people on to talk about it, to actually use your dreams, to go to, like, astral travel. Listen, astral travel has been one of the coolest things ever, but um, teaching people how to do it, to some, it comes fairly quickly. To others, it may never come. But anyways, yes, it is a place we escape to. Uh, for some, had some strange dramas, or no, dreams. Edward Stewart, but one for me that really sticks out. My pops passed in 2018. A couple years later, had a dream as I woke up. I could hear him calling my name as I looked towards the door. Yeah, yeah, and that's kind of the paranormal side of things, or the, um, when we talk about ghosts or spirits, it was your father's energy. Okay, I call it energy because a lot of people call it so many different things. Like your soul is your soul. That doesn't go anywhere until you pass on. But there is another energy right where your heart is. Okay. A lot of people, again, I'll have a guest on to talk about it. Different countries call it different things, different religions call it different things. So I just go with energy. There's the soul and there's an energy ball. Okay. That is a part of you. And it's something that even when your soul passes on, that little energy ball is a part of us. It's got our memory, it's got our experiences, it's got a piece of us. It can communicate. That's why when ghosts and spirits stick around, it can hardly get up enough energy to communicate, but there are ways that we have figured out to communicate with the other side through EVPs, through dreams, or just outright seeing one. If one can gather enough energy around itself, I'm talking about the ball of energy that is within us, that um, sticks around, and that's what garnered enough energy to say bye to you, Edward. So yeah, I mean, there is those two very distinct. See you, Duck Dodgers. Again, I know this is a deep conversation, but again, the paranormal shows are going to be deep. So you like it like an energy ball, like in Poltergeist when those lights floated down the steps. Well, yeah. J.O.B. Um, I'm just not giving it a specific name because it goes by many different names, and I will be discussing that on an entire show. But it is a piece of us. It is our energy, and it's one that sticks around. It's part of us that sticks around to keep an eye on our loved ones while our soul passes on into reincarnation, a different dimension, a different state of being. Many different things can happen. Dino, in Judaism, we call it nefesh. There you go, Ahava. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There you go. Yes, nefesh. So again, all have different names for it. I don't know them all, which is why I'm sticking with what. But I'm here to talk about my dream, and we got plenty of time. Listen, it's 8:30. But let me see what's everybody else got to say. Was standing in the doorway, but his body was like shining stars. Energy. Edward Stewart. I said his name. The stars dropped to the ground. Edward. Yes. He manifested enough energy to let you know Edward, don't worry, dude. I'm here for you, though, man. I'll be here. And so, yes, very good. Very good. You have our support, Dino. Thank you, Francis. Really appreciate it. Hopefully, I said hi to everybody. And Darren Garcia, thank you for being very understanding on everything I talk about here. And believe it or not, you lose subscribers sometimes talking about topics that are different and out of the ordinary. So it is what it is. Let's see, Donovan Belair. I had a dream once where me, the cast from Dawn of the Dead, the original, were running upstairs from a bunch of zombies. Then I died. Then I didn't. We went into a bar. Then I became a bartender, Donovan Belair. Well, that's also the thing, Donovan. There's a big difference between what I'm talking about and people who go into that REM type of sleep where it's your mind going over all the information that you've been thinking about throughout the day. And say you just watched a movie and that movie's incorporated into your dream. There is that, and that's you can call that imagination, or something of that sort. Like, I'm not saying that part of that isn't you trying to connect with something somewhere else. It depends how real it is, and everybody's experience is different. But yes, I've also had those types of dreams, and I don't consider those the dreams where you're actually going somewhere else. It's kind of the beginning of the REM sleep where your body tends to start to slow down and wind down, and that's your brain throwing off little bits of memories and storing them, and all of that just starts to slow down, and that's where you get into this deeper sleep. And that's the point where it allows you to go wherever you want to go. Although, again, once I have somebody in and we talk about lucid dreaming and astral traveling, you don't necessarily need to get past that. You don't need to get to REM sleep at all, or even a deep sleep. You can meditate to a point that you can get there. Anyways, but that's down the road. Night Rider, what's going on? Good to see you. J.O.B. A few times I dozed off with the TV on, and the sound from the TV was in my dream. Well, J.O.B., it wasn't in your dream. You were right there on that border where sleep started coming, but your brain is still hearing the sound of the TV. You know what I mean? So I get what you're saying. Hey, we're all crazy. I know. Seriously, what? Listen, I don't know about crazy. Autumn always reminds me of that. Any other lucid dreamers out there? Room and Franco. Yeah, anybody else in the dreams? Some kind of hocus pocus. No, it's very, Edward, it's very scientific when you get to it. We've kind of thrown these words out, like you said, hocus pocus. We've thrown words out like that, and even the paranormal, or even the word spooky or scary, stuff like that. But it is scientific. I mean, there is reasoning behind everything that we go through, and a scientific formula, if you would. I mean, there's reasoning behind everything. It's very scientific. We can crunch the numbers is what we can do, right? And I haven't delved too deep into being able to get too many specifics out yet, but yeah, we will definitely get into this. Hello, Dino, and everyone. I saw that, Kathy. I am a little bit behind the chat now, so I'm trying to catch out. You are a great interview. Who'd you bribe, sir? I'm not getting into it. I think that's a different account, but I'm good to have you back. Good to have you back. Just Yeah. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. Okay. Best dreams I have are my third person point of view dreams, Duck Dodgers. Okay. Darren Garcia, this is interesting, Dino. Sometimes the fun thing that started one off to do YouTube becomes less fun and more of a job or takes you off track. You follow your heart. Exactly, Darren. And that's what I've been going through for a while here. Again, not saying I don't like I'm working my butt off, and the old time radio streams overnight take a good chunk of time out. But I really need to, and those will continue. I mean, I even got to the point to saying, if there's a couple days I don't, if it's a Monday through Friday, well, no, Saturday and Sunday, I think we need the old time radio. But if a day or two comes up to where I just can't do an overnight, so be it. If I have to work on a guest or a show like a Paranormal into the Night, then I will do that. So, but I should be fine. I should be fine. Yeah, it's very cold here. It's going to be cold everywhere. So everybody stay safe and warm. That's for sure. And I still got to get to the dream that I had, and it's I want to talk about it, but I'm just trying to catch up, which I don't know if I'm going to be able to. You guys are going like crazy here. I've been able to fly in a few dreams, says Edward Stewart. Again, everybody's experience is different. I would wonder if you're actually astral traveling, Edward. I don't know how deep or real the dream that you're having feels or sounds or the story behind it. You know what I mean? Because as you're flying, what's going on? What do you see? Do you feel certain emotions? You know what I mean? That's why I want to start talking to guests that have gone through this. And again, if any of you want to take part or have a story to tell, definitely, I've said this before, but I'm serious. Email it to me, dinomedia2020@icloud.com. It's in the description below. I will read it or have you on as a guest. I will do that if you have a story to tell. But I am working on talking to a lot of people, that's for sure. Shelly S., good to see you. Just catching up, and then I will talk about the dream. UFOs, no joke. Salutations, family and friends. Dino, what's up? Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay, I think we manifest many things, create escapes to avoid or bypass hurt, trauma, or pain. Yes, Darren Garcia. And there is a distinct difference, though, I will say, Darren. And I think you know that. I think I've read enough of your comments in paranormal streams and other things, too, that you know the difference. But there's a difference between escapism when it comes to trauma and taking yourself elsewhere. It almost becomes, for some people, it becomes a mental illness. Sadly to say, it does. Because if you can't connect to the other side, you're lost in your mind. You know what I mean? You can't. It's like your own mind's your own prison, right? You can't escape it. So whereas there are people who use their dreams in a different way, where it's hard to explain. But yes, Darren, you got it down. Okay, let's talk about my energy. Okay, it's an angelic Edward from Dark Shadows. Let's see, Donovan Blair. I read that one. Let me see. Every once in a while, I hear either Grandma and or Grandpa Clary, Connie. Yeah, probably sticking around. Darren Garcia. I was a firefighter paramedic. When someone would pass in front of me, sometimes I felt a presence, warm, friendly. Nice, Darren Garcia. It's good that you can pick up on that because not everybody can. See, that is one of the, oh my God, I'm not going to say well, I can say downsides to being an empath who can feel the energy of other people, because when you're around somebody who has passed on, and the only time I've been around people, well, no people, they've been passed already. Nobody's ever passed right in front of me, but I've had two animals pass in front of me, pets, that I love dearly, and totally felt them, and saw the dissipation of energy right in front of me. It was one of my black cats who was laying on my lap and looked up in my face and took his last few breaths, eyes glossed over. Out came this little white milky energy, and then just dissipated. It was just gone. But and then that feeling you get, there is a transfer of, and that was the cat that for a month afterwards would jump up on the bed, go between my knee. He stuck around. Anyways, I know I got to get to my dream. But I love reading the chat also. A few times I dozed off. Okay, I read that one already. Let's see. Even an exorcist dream as well, sitting next to Reagan possessed, watching the movie. So weird. Yes, well, again, those are when people go through stress, tension, anything in your life that's going to cause, you just not depression, whatever, just feel off or anything. Anxiety's up that day. You know, those horrific things are going to pop into your beginning stages of REM sleep. The part of the REM where you're dreaming, and you're dreaming in a way where it's, like I said, I've already explained this, where it's not necessarily you leaving your body. And when I say leave your body, it's not your soul. It's just a little ball of energy that just it's goes out, and it can do its thing. And anyways, I can't wait to talk about this stuff. In response to your repeating dream, the same place over and over, these dreams for me usually manifest into reality or signal something that is coming. Ruben Franco. Okay, so this is a good point to get into my dream. Ruben Frankel. Well put. It is. I'm not saying it's a repeating dream, but it's a repeating same place. It's the same place over and over. 100%. But this same place that I go to is I learn, I see different things every time. Okay. Hello, Emily Thompson. Good to see you. Travel since 13 years old, says Edward Stewart. At different times, wifey said I talk different languages. Edward Stewart. Very cool. Yeah, Edward, I remember you talking plenty of times about all of that stuff. And yeah, I think you're somehow connected to, but there's another thing that could be going on too. I believe that you're astral traveling, and I would love to have you on to talk about it, but I will have an expert on to talk about it specifically. But the different languages, speaking the different languages, that definitely is very interesting, Edward. 13 years old, my wife has said I talk different languages. Yeah, we will definitely get to that very soon. I have a dream catcher over my bed. Ever since I put it up, I never have vivid dreams. I'm not going to bust the bubble. There are certain things you need to do with a dream catcher, Sweet Indigo. Your mind alone, listen, our minds alone can manifest what we want. We have more power than we realize. Using objects as tools, such as a dream catcher, a lot of times you just can't put a dream catcher up and it's going to stop your dreams. There is a sort of, if you talk to Native Americans, there is a ritual that goes along with that. And there is a medium or some sort that can connect to the other side that sometimes helps another spirit or guardian angel of sorts to help with stopping these dreams. And the dream catcher is a tool for that. And that's another thing I'd like to get into. But again, definitely not saying that just you or somebody putting that up can't manifest the dreams to stop. Because again, you think you're going, just like uh, people under hypnotism. If a lot of people don't believe anybody can be hypnotized, but they can. And suggestion, you can put them in a state of easy suggestion, and telling them that to hold this cup, and then you tell them it's 150 degrees or it's 200 degrees, and they drop it, and some people literally can get red, you see the symptoms of holding a burnt cup. You know what I mean? So auto suggestion is a big part of a lot. And yeah. Anyways, gonna head out. Dino, thanks for sharing. I'm happy you're with us for us. Good night. Thank you, Darren Garcia. You take care. Okay, back to my dream. Let's start this thing. Dino, you shouldn't feel forced to provide round-the-clock shows. You have to be able to live your life outside YouTube. We will support you no matter how it looks. Unfortunately, Ahava, thank you. Thank you. But I'll tell you this. Unfortunately, that's not true. If you take this as a business on top of a place to be creative and everything else, but I do this full time. This is all I do. And if I were to stop, people would immediately go, and I'm just being brutally honest. I love that you say that. And I love that there are a lot of you out there who would. If I took 2 days off, you guys would be right back. But if there becomes a pattern to where I'm just not playing shows, and then somebody else picks up on that and they go, it's already happened. It already happened. There's so many channels out there on YouTube. I'll just say that. So many channels out there right now doing what I started, the exact same thing. And some are doing it pretty good, and some aren't doing it so well. Some care and some don't care. And if I'm not on, they're going to go over there, and they're going to, and again, everybody can go anywhere they want. There's millions of shows of the same exact ones. Like if I play a Boston Blackie episode, you can do a YouTube search for that same episode and it'll probably pop up 1,000 times. So most everything's out there. There has been some stuff I put up that I haven't seen anywhere. But my point being is there is other places to go. And when one person starts slowing down, the other person starts picking up, because you make friends and you call them by their name, and this is a great place to be. I love it. And this, I see it on a daily basis, but it is what it is. But so that's why I continue to try to make sure I'm on every night for you guys and to keep you guys around the best I can. So, because I care and I want the Late Late Horror Show to stay strong. But the rest, there's nothing I can do. But when I do hear stuff like that, Ahava, it does make me feel really, really good. I do really appreciate that. And many other people do too. I mean, I could name all of you guys off in the chat who are always around. I'm still getting over the fact that it's more like a zip file dreams. A zip file, Knight Rider. Oh my, no. The last time I talked to Denny, I was upset about my cat, says Emily, who had never been outside, had gotten out, and he had said, oh, you couldn't get it all in at one time. Continued, I'll always be around for you. He was gone for a week and Denny died. I dreamed that night that Denny had found. I went to the door the next morning and my cat was sitting right there. Wow, Emily. Yeah, very interesting things that happen to us, for sure. Lulu Bell, what's going on? Just remember one thing, you guys. I started this channel out and the old time radio, especially, uh, for good reason, because I care from my heart to all of the people that wanted it and needed it. And that's why it continues. There was a stretch when the pandemic, happened, and I was sick for a month and I still crawled myself to, this is how nutty I am, crawled myself to the computer to put up a stream every single night. I think Connie remembers, she was around. Edward, he remembers, maybe a few others. But yeah, anyways, okay, to the dream. Oh, and CM, good evening. Good to see you. Because I broke my shoulder. I hope you are all well. Heal, 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 heal. Dino, we love you, buddy. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Brian Kirkham. Really appreciate it. Appreciate everybody who stuck around all these years and continue to stick around. And yeah. Thank you. Okay, so let me get to this dream. Okay, so the dream has been over a couple years. It's a place that I've been visiting that at first it was just this comforting place. It was a really big, cool place. Let me describe it this way. It's I wouldn't call it a mansion, because see, dreams, or even, where I'm going, it's just a different place. Um, it's not a house, it's not a mansion. It's way bigger than that, because the place that I'm going to, it incorporates a different way of living. I don't know. It's you can call it a dwelling or a house, but it's huge. It's huge. Okay, so it's a place. It consists of one, two, let's say two different parts. There's a part to this place that I go to. That's what I'll say, which is I'll say home, but it's not a home, because there's just too much space. Too much space. And the one side of the living space consists of rooms that are like basements, bedrooms, living rooms, long halls, you name it. Okay. Then and that's good. That's the good side, where positive things happen. And there are other entities there, spirits are there, people are there. And when I say that, I mean in all forms of different energy, because again, I believe the place that I'm going to and have been going to is on a different plane of existence. It's a different, let's just call it a different dimension, or a different plane of existence. How about that? A different vibration. Okay. But nonetheless, it is as real to me there as it is here. Okay. And that's the point I'm trying to get across. And I will get across when we talk to experts, that not only can your soul stay here, but that little other part of you that can astral travel, lucid dream, all this other good stuff, can leave and go there. And it's a different vibrational frequency. But nevertheless, it's a place. And when I go there, it's as real as being here. Okay. And when I'm there, there are people that ignore me. Okay. There are people that are there that are, it's like they don't notice me. Okay. So, and that's because of the vibrational thing, the wanderers. Okay. I'm making words, wanderers, the other spirits, entities, people, whatever you want to call them, there, because I do believe that there's other entities in this place that I'm going to that are not necessarily just from Earth or this dimensional plane. There are many dimensional planes. And that's even Albert Einstein's talked about that. Michio Kaku, if you've ever heard of him, the worm theory and string theory and different vibrational frequencies. So there are different levels of existence, and with that comes different levels of time, different levels of energy and vibration. And anyways, I'm just trying to give you an illustration and a picture of what is going on when I've been going there. And it started out with me by myself, and then feeling that there were other people there and exploring. And that's probably was the coolest part to all of this, was the exploring, because there were things that I, like 2 weeks ago, I did not want to. I mean, I wanted to wake up. I'm not saying it in that way, but I didn't want to wake up yet, because when I woke up, I'm like going, no, no, what are you doing? I wanted to finish doing what I was doing, because I was seeing all kinds of cool items and things, and uh, like papers and stuff like that, that I was trying to make sense of, Hello, Abba. Hello, Abba. What's going on? Good to see you. There were, and I didn't want to leave, and I woke up, and I just woke up, and I'm like, that day was the one day that everything cleared up for me. Told me, Dino, focus, get yourself in that direction, continue on doing what you wanted to do, and that's what I'm going to do. But that's how it started off. And then there's another section of this living area. And there were dreams that I had where I would enter this other side, which was darker. It was, you can call it a more negative space. It's weird how this worked. And it's something that I'm still trying to figure out. But because you have this good energy living space, you can explore, talk to people, have people talk to you. I think the most interesting part of that side, the good side, when I did explore, was when people would make eye contact with me, and immediately they would shoot to the right, left, whatever, out of the room. They would just, like they were scared. And that happens a lot of times with people who, again, like a spirit. Say you're doing an investigation, you're a paranormal investigator, and a spirit gets shocked, or you see a ghost and you go, oh my God, and you run away. Boom, 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 boom. I'm getting out of here. I'm splitting. Same kind of interaction going on. So I thought that was very interesting. But let's get to that more negative side. Didn't like it too much. Didn't like that side of things. I think it harbored a lot of the early stuff. Again, people could say this is the stored information in your head. And I think that's part of it, because I think they're both connected. Your memories go along with you there in your dream or to the other dimension. Like it doesn't, or level of frequency, whatever you want to call it, dream state. Your memories go along with it. So I think that's the place where all that negative stuff was let out. Okay. And when I explored over there, and the first time I entered it, it's one huge, long, dark hallway, blues and purple, dark, like if you were to have blue curtains up on a large window and the moon shining through, and black walls, all the way down. It was a long, long hall. And there were rooms off to each side. And as I would walk by, slowly over a 2-year span, I still haven't, there's maybe 3 rooms that I went into, and the rest I just, every time that came up, and there was always more good visits than any of that. I very rarely visited that side, and I can visit it anytime I want, but who would want to go re-experience that negativity, that sadness? Okay. Sorry, my mouth's starting to get dry now. You know what? I think I got a ginger ale down here. Still going to talk a little bit. Laura, Southern Coke drinker Laura, I've got a ginger ale. I'm going to get this because my mouth is getting dry and I'm starting to cough. And then I'll get back to that negative area. I'd like to talk and continue that. No, I'd like to talk about really quick night terrors, because I had night terrors. Little ASMR. There you go. I'd like to talk about night terrors because I had them too. Sears James sounds like a bizarre amusement park. You can call it that. I mean, again, think about it this way. If you were able to visit another world, another planet with different aliens on it, and fauna that just was out of this world, and so these are things that, it sounds crazy, but people who can astral travel or dream on a different level, different dimension, different state of frequency, can travel to these places, can manifest where they're at in that dimension or frequency. I shouldn't say dimension. Dimension's an old word that I think freaks people out, and even though it's still used to this day, it's been used in movies and TV to the point that it's interdimensional. It's a different dimension. Twilight Zone. Whatever. So it makes you think, what a bunch of hogwash. But if I say frequency, maybe that sounds a little bit more scientific, and maybe you'll accept it a little bit more. But when you go to that frequency, things can be manifested because you're bringing your memories along with you, and you definitely never know what frequency or vibration level you're going to be on. So, and a bizarre amusement park, it can be that. But I tell you what, if you can really get yourself to that place and stick to what's going on, and sometimes you can't even help it. Like, I kept going to this place, and I didn't manifest it. It just, I was there. Next time I was there. So, and getting back to Laura, talking about the night terrors again. I had night terrors to the point of I nearly killed myself every time I had a night terror, from the age of 5 years old to 8 years old. Again, I think it was a part of me trying to escape. And believe it or not, the night terrors don't happen in REM sleep. The part of your brain that's, wired still after you fall asleep, and, you're trying to get everything together, your memories of the day, put together facts, just all of that stuff. That's REM sleep. That's different. Once you get to the deepest part of your sleep, again, I had it pulled up earlier. I wish I still had it. It was there's a name for it, but it's the deepest part of your sleep, like S3 sleep. It's deep sleep, way past REM. You shouldn't be really doing much dreaming or even remember. That's the part where night terrors come in. The night terrors happen in that deepest, darkest part of your sleep when you shouldn't be having them. That's also when sleepwalking happens. And that's a lot of times why you can't be woken up. It's hard to wake up, or they tell you don't wake, you shouldn't wake that person up. In my case, and probably yours, when it comes to night terrors, you almost need to be woken up, because in my case, I would freak out and I would run all around the house, and I literally jumped from top stair all the way down to bottom stair, and my mom's like, he's going to kill himself. And I would be woken up with cold water splashed to my face every single time. But as a child, and I know adults have night terrors too, but probably for some of the same reasons. Night terrors as a child has a lot to do with, Laura, I don't know if you've went through anything as a child, traumatic, or I'm not even going to ask. But in my case, I did. And I think that was my way of escaping. And I think that's what took me closer and closer to where I had become the older I got, especially after the car accident that I had. So when people have a near-death experience, it takes you to a different place. And once you're connected to the other side, it's hard to, especially as an adult, to unconnect. And that's kind of where I'm at. But when it comes to the astral traveling, room temperature and body temperature plays a part for me, or it doesn't happen. Everything has to be perfect. Yes, Edward Stewart. Yes, there is a ritual. There's a certain way that everybody you got to put yourself in a certain state to be able to do that. But okay, getting back to my dream, that negative side, that dark side, that again, I think I always avoided, but was only there a handful of times because never wanted to go over there. Spent most of my time on the other side, the good side. The rooms, when I went into them, there were always bizarre, dark spirits there. That's all I'll say. Dark spirits. One was a bedroom. I would say late 1800s bedroom, but black walls, all dark, blue light coming in. You couldn't see outside. I can't see outside when I'm in this place. I've tried to a couple times, always distracted by something else. But that's what, I should get to the point. Let's see, 907. I should get to the point of why this dream in particular became important. Not only did it span 2 years, and let me tell you, wandering around the good part of this living space was just, I can't even explain it. It just, I can't wait to go back and visit every time I go back. But I'd like to get to the point to where I'm getting focused here. I was approached in the dream one night or actually it was probably early morning because it was right before I woke up. But it was a person, long blonde hair. It's weird because he wasn't in no gown or white, but it was like a white silky type shirt. Like you couldn't tell what era. It was just a being. It's again hard to talk about this stuff, but I'm always open, and it is what it is. But he approached me one day when I was in a large room. Again, two people darted out of the room and this person entered, and I was just looking through stuff. I mean, I can't even explain what I looked through. There are papers that do not have anything to do with here, you know, Earth. I mean, it's there are papers that like have news on it, or are like somewhat what we would say magazines and stuff like that, next to toys and other items. And I could do a whole show on the details of each room. I Which isn't the point of this stream at all, but he came in and he did say, he didn't say my name or nothing like that, but he did say stop. And then he started to talk about, just to get my attention, I suppose. And I couldn't look away when I saw him. I couldn't look away. I knew it was a man, long blonde hair, white silky type shirt. I don't know. I didn't notice anything lower. Because I was focused on the face, and he did say, all the things you're going through right now in your life, okay, is discombobulated. It's all over the place. In other words, it was said a little bit differently than that. It says you're not focused. You don't know what you're doing. You're trying to please too many people. And it's allowing you to not free yourself from all of that and do what you want to do. He says, when you wake up today, focus yourself in on what you want to do. We all know what you want to do. Don't ask me why he said we, because that's what came out of his mouth. But again, who he was, I don't know yet. I'm yet to encounter him again. This was, what day was this? I'm so bad. My mind, see? 4 days ago, somewhere around 4 or 5 days, somewhere around there. Haven't dreamed yet of going back to that place. I think after this is when I started to focus, but he basically said to focus. It's the paranormal you want to learn about. It's life after death that you want to learn about. Why don't you stick to this, make yourself happy, and get answers? And then he went on, and this is the strange part. I got this feeling. It wasn't him speaking to me, speech. It wasn't speech. It was like a movie that started to roll in my head that was telling me and showing me everybody is confused. Everybody's confused. People need to know what's going on. And I don't even know how to explain it, except for a whole mess of images went through my head. This sounds bizarre, but a whole mess of images and like moving pictures of people. Some were crying, some were working, some were, I felt that they were confused, didn't know what was going on themselves. And then I woke up, and that was it. And that's been it since. And I usually have a dream like this once a week in that place. But that's what happened, that I woke up that day with just like lifted. Everything was just lifted. I said, dude, it's what you got to do. Focus. Stop worrying about everything else and concentrate on doing that. And for the past 4 days or so, well, technically the past month, I've been trying to work on people and guests forever. But the past 4 days, I've really kicked things into gear, and I will be in the future putting on Paranormal into the Night and looking for answers. That is what I love. That is what I want to do. Interviewing guests who have stories to tell. So that's kind of what went on, what's going on. And again, For the people who just showed up, I kind of an hour and 14 minutes. I've gone over from my childhood to now. This all started when I was young, 8 years old. A car accident happened, kind of connected me to that other side. Stuff I don't talk about even really to my family, honestly. Most people think you're crazy, you know. Leading up through my 20s, getting into the paranormal, and then 10 years ago, starting to do a paranormal show and just getting lost amongst all that happened. The whole YouTube thing and all of it. So, so that's kind of where I'm at. Dino, what headphones do you use at night? Okay, hold on. Let me see. I don't want to. Let me go back to the chat here real quick. Awesome, Dino. That's cool. ABBA. Thank you. Listen, I don't know how much you've listened to ABBA, but there was a whole beginning part of the show, definitely, that I touched on everything and what led up to this in my life and why I have these dreams to begin with, which aren't really dreams. I mean, they're dreams, but it's me really going to a different frequency. But yeah, yes, that is true, Dino. They very dismissive. I understand. It might be your rational side finally working with you, or inner therapist or psychiatrist, as I call them. Luckily, you've had a clarity moment. Some never reach that point. Sirius James. Well, I mean, again, for all the people who have listened to enough of my Paranormal to the Night shows and stuff like that, know that there's more to everything than meets the eye. So anyways, I think if you listen from beginning to end, you understand what I'm saying and where I'm going with that. Let me take a sip. And I appreciate everybody for being understanding and listening to me tonight. Let's see. Who said that? Where am I at? Who asked me about headphones? Oh, there we go. Sorry if I missed your questions. How does all that stuff fit into one little dream? LOL. Are you kidding me? Come on, Knight Rider. Dude. Yeah, man, I am blown away by the Hubble telescope images that have come back. And the fact that they're saying, do you guys understand what's going on even with the images they're getting back and stuff like that? Like the Big Bang Theory is not a thing. It's just not a thing. They found galaxies that are farther away from other galaxies that should be nearer to the Big Bang that are showing different ages. It's just everything's telling you that. Listen, I never believed in the Big Bang to begin with, but scientists are throwing their hands up right now and saying, we don't know. And I don't think they ever really knew. I mean, that was just a theory. Big Bang Theory was just a theory. But this Hubble telescope, the latest images, and go look for them, they're telling us that there's galaxies older that are closer to like our solar system than nearer to the Big Bang, like where that point of no light, and listen, I think that's just technology. I think we can't see past where that Big Bang is just because we don't got the instrumentation good enough to, I mean, come on, we're lucky enough to be able to see 15 billion years out, right? So anyways, headphones, let's see. UFOs, no joke. Dino, what headphones do you use at night? I can't use buds and others become a pain. UFOs, no joke. There's a, Amazon put in headband headphones or earbuds or whatever, because there's a built-in headphone that it's like a headband that you put on your head. it's the most comfortable, and it allows them to stay in, because yes, I've dealt with an earbud staying in and you wake up and you're in pain with your earbud, and you can't sit there with big headphones on because you got to roll over, unless you lay on your back all night long, right? But there is a headband, man. Let me I'm going to do this for you real quick, because I want to get the right thing of what it's called. Hold on a second. Here we go. Headband. Okay, just look up sleep headphones, headband headphones. I don't want to say any names of anything particular, but it'll show up right away. Sleep headphones, wireless. It's just like a headband, that would go around and you hear, and it doesn't put no pressure on, and it's perfect. It's perfect. So hopefully that works for you. Laura, that's why. Well, Laura, one thing I will say, thank you, Connie. Thank you, Connie Clary, $4.99 super chat. Thank you for what you do and for sharing, Dino. Thank you. Thank you, Connie Clary. Always appreciate it. I do want to get into your comment real quick, Laura. Listen, there's nothing wrong with believing in God and having faith. I'm not an atheist by no means. I believe that there's a higher power, a higher energy. Listen, something created everything. Was it 4,000 years ago? No. But if you have your faith, that's okay. All I would ever ask of anybody that's here right now and shows up to any of my paranormal streams, please always listen to everybody's story and never, like, I almost never want to say God in the chat when we're doing a paranormal show, because people will argue and then they'll go back and forth and argue and argue and argue. There is nothing wrong with having faith in God, whether it be Catholicism, Christianity, or anything, Buddhism, whatever it is. We all have faith in something. And, if you have faith in there being a human being or something like that in the heavens above, that's perfectly fine. If you believe in, like I do, I believe that there's a higher energy, a form of energy that is all knowing, all being, that somehow created. But the question will arise, and I will say this, the question will arise, and if anybody ever can answer this, I don't know what I'd do for you. I really don't. I would do whatever I could. Whoever the highest being is, whether it's the Lord God or an energy form or an energy being, something that like that. If there is one almighty being that created everything, one question: what created that being? Because everything starts from something. Just like the Big Bang Theory, everything pushed out from one little hole. I don't believe that. I think there's way too many unanswered questions for us to know anything. And even when we pass on, I think it's still a tough go to get the answers that we truly need. Nobody's going to walk up to you, I don't think. I don't believe. But again, these are my beliefs. Has nothing to do with anybody else. I don't believe anybody's going to come up to you and say, this is how everything began. This is how everything started, and lay it out in front of you. Why? I don't understand. We get choices after we pass on to what's the next level you get to go to? What's the next level you want to go to? I think there's way more involved to all this, but is it laid out for us? And what created the thing that created everything? Because everything is created by something. Nothing just manifests itself. But it's the one question that drives me nuts, because there's not a theory out there. Nobody knows. I believe in Stairpike, and he's real, and he knows everything. Sears James is back. Listen, love the comedy. Just yeah. Of course, I just meant that the situation with the scientists was why. Oh no, yeah, no, Laura. It's kind of spawned me into talking a little bit about that, just because it's tough. I tell you what, Stairpike hasn't been around. I don't know where Stairpike's at. So, Sears, yeah, not sure. But anyways, Edward, we figured it was driving me nuts now too. LO. No, I know. I almost hate to ever ask that, but it's the question that, if ever answered, I don't think there's any way of answering that. But if somebody's even got a good theory or hypothesis, please get it to me the best way you can, because I want to know, because it would help to try to figure out a lot of things. And again, faith is beautiful. If how can I say this? If I could put my mind at ease to the point, I'll leave it there. Yeah. Anyways, I have noticed that a lot. Most of his comments are gone from all the late night streams. What's that, Sears? No. Stairpike. Hold on. Edward said something. Stairpike was in. Interesting what Stairpike would say about this. Stairpike was in maybe a week ago. Has anybody seen him since? But before that, he was slowly, like, he was popping in once a week. That's about it. So it's not that anything of his is. You can go into the back streams and say he's not blocked, so everything's good there. Whatever you believe in, if it helps make your life better and helps you through the good and bad times, it's not a bad thing. Principal photography. Well said. Well said, Principal photography. 100% agree. Dreaming of fall. Thanks, everyone. Yeah, it is time. It is 9:30. Well, Eastern time, it's 9:30. I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me and letting me go on and talk about this, everything that's been going on, and kind of a little bit more of a chunk of my life. And you're going to start getting a lot more paranormal shows coming up here. So anyways, back in his uniform, slid up and back, asked, okay, I was past conversations are gone from the real older ones and almost to the current ones. What? Serious, James? Okay. Well, you brought it to my attention. I'm going to, again, see, work is never done. I know I seen him a week ago, and then somebody hopped in with the nickname the Stairpike Society. So I don't know if I'm being messed with, because I've always, questioned certain things about certain people, no matter how long you've known them or even seen them, because we're all names behind our usernames. We're all just a presence behind our usernames. I mean, we get to know each other in our certain ways about us, but I'll go back and see, but he should not be blocked. I know who our moderators are, and none of the moderators would block Stairpike. So Stairpike could have accidentally hit the block to the channel, thus making him disappear. So I don't know why he would do that, but that is possible. It could have been an accident, but some people do that by hitting their phone and tapping the wrong thing, and then they disappear. But it was not done on this part. We all love Stair Pike, and hopefully he shows up again. But I will go check. I like stuff to make you think, Laura. Okay, cool. I'm with you on that, principle. Okay. With that said, you guys, thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. Me and Dave Plouffe will be interviewing. Let me just Kendall Phillips. He is an author of Kolchak. He wrote a book about Kolchak. So we will be talking Kolchak. We will be talking horror movies, old horror movies, classic black and white, haunted house horror movies, and some Columbo and some other stuff. So, all of the good stuff. We'll be talking about it. So tomorrow night should be fun for sure. I think it'll be a fun night. John Swan, it's true. I've done that. Yeah. Unfortunately, it is a beautiful subject, conversation, and sharing your experience. Thank you. Thank you, Abba. With that said, I'll leave you guys with much love to each and every one of you.